Good morning. Oh my gosh. I hope everyone's having a good morning on this beautiful, what are we, Wednesday? I love Wednesday. I don't know why. It's like right in the middle. Anyways, I hope everyone's having a good morning. Oh my God, my heart is just like, yeah. I actually said a prayer before coming on today, and I wanted to do it live because, and again, first thing in the morning, like, you know my style. It's just, when it comes to me, I have to speak, and usually it's first thing in the morning where I'm just so raw, so me, so authentic. But God kept telling me, it's time, and I'm like, okay. And it's like, I want to get it right. I want to say the right things. I want to, and it's like, there's no like right or wrong way, So anyways, I know a lot of people have been dying to know what I've been up to. Everyone's, ever since I closed the salon and stuff, like people have been wondering what I'm doing, what my plans are and everything. And I'm like, I'm not telling anybody. I'm just kind of keeping that to myself. But I think it's time that I start sharing a little bit with you guys what I've been up to. And I'm actually really excited about it. This is a really, really big project that I've been working on. And basically it's been my life's work. And I didn't always know how it was going to come about, but it's all just kind of shaped into something really, really beautiful. And I'm really excited to share that with you guys. And this is something that it's going to affect everybody, like everybody globally, like this is something that is just really beautiful. And before I share that with you, before I share my project with you, I thought I would share a little bit of who I am, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are watching me now that don't really know who I am or anything. So I thought I would just kind of introduce myself a little bit. So my name is Christelle Savoie, and I speak French and English. I am currently living in New Brunswick, Canada, and I love it here. It is so beautiful. Like, we're so close to nature, like it's just really beautiful. And it's funny because the question is always like, so where do you come from? Because like I talk to people here and it's like, yeah, you're not from here, are you? And I'm like, and it's always been like the joke in my family. It's like, oh yeah, ask Christelle where she's from and see what she says to you. And it makes me laugh because I'm always like, I feel like I'm just so Canadian, because I was born in Quebec. But then, and it was like, I don't know. It's almost like I was born on the way somewhere. I don't know, because we didn't even really live there. So I don't know. But I was born there, and then my family moved to New Brunswick. And then from New Brunswick, we moved to Ontario, and I grew up in Ontario. So it's kind of funny. And my mom is from Alberta, and my dad's from New Brunswick. So it's kind of funny when people ask, where are you from? And because I always say I'm from Ontario, because that's where I grew up. But some people are like, oh no, she's from Quebec. Oh no, she's from here. Oh no, she's from there. It's like, look, I'm just Canadian, okay? I'm from everywhere. But anyways, so yeah, I have two brothers, and yeah, I mean, I guess obviously we moved around quite a bit and stuff. And some people can see that as a bad thing or whatever. Like I never really saw it as a bad thing. I got to meet a lot of really cool people. I got to experience a lot of different things. I got to, learn new things and everything like that. When I think of my life in general, I think I had a really good life, but again, it depends on what perspective. I mean, someone, once they know all the details of my life, they could probably say, wow, your life was absolute shit, and from a different perspective, like I like to see everything in a positive way. I'd say I've lived a beautiful life. And it was definitely not without its challenges. I mean, whether that be family, professionally, personally, whatever, life always has its challenges. But again, I always tried to find the gift in everything that I was dealt, because I was just convinced that God was not going to give me anything I couldn't handle, and that there was a purpose for all of it. So that's how I moved forward in life, And like, even when I think of childhood, I think like I had a good childhood, you know, like I had good family life and everything. It wasn't always easy. It's not to say that it was perfect. I mean, there were challenges as well. And I know that my family also, you know, deals with their own challenges, as we all do. And yeah, like, it wasn't always easy, but we made the best of what we had, right? And in the past, I've dated some narcissists. You know, I've been abused in a lot of ways. Like, I went through every single form of abuse possible. I've been absolutely tortured. You know, like, I mean, I could tell stories for days. And I've shared some of my story in my other videos as well. But so if ever you want to, feel free to go through that stuff. But yeah, I've been through a lot of things. And like I said, I choose to look to, you know, keep the gift and move forward with that, though. And that's how I approach life. I've dealt with also a lot of health issues. I've had some near-death experiences. I've, like, so many things. I've felt heartbreak so many times. You know, but, you know, I've also lived such wonderful things in my life. Like, so yeah, like, I just feel like I'm very blessed, and I'm very grateful to be here today. And, you know, for a long, long time, I remember thinking, like, you know, why all the suffering, why all the, you know. And I remember even when I was little, I was one of those kids that always questioned a lot of things, you know, and I always got the typical, like, adult answers of stuff, like the kid answer. And I was like, I don't know, like, you know, it's like just those typical answers we give kids because we don't really have the answers, right? Like, I got those answers as a kid, and I was like, what? Like, that, it's not speaking to me. But sure, everyone's telling me the same thing, so it's like, I guess it must be what it is, right? But I don't know, I just never really took it. And I always kind of saw life a certain way, and everyone thought I was insane. And because I'm realizing I have a very creative mind, and I have a very different kind of mind. So, you know, as soon as you're different, people think you're crazy. I mean, I've been told I was crazy my entire life. I've been told I was weird my entire life. I've been told I was stubborn my entire life. I've been told, like, so many things my entire life, like it's a bad thing. And it's not, honestly. I'm glad I'm weird and stubborn and crazy. You know what I mean? In the best way possible. But anyways, like, I learned to embrace all those things. And, but yeah, I've always been very, very creative, very full of love, very, like, just happy, smiley, and, you know. And honestly, that very essence irritates a lot of people, I've noticed. It irritates a lot of people because my whole life, people either love me or hate me. I don't think there's an in-between, you know, like, and that's been my life. So it's like, whatever, it is what it is. I mean, you can't please everybody. We're all different. We're all, you know what I mean? So, yeah. And I've just kind of, it's like, no, I'm just going to keep being me, you know, like, I can't please everybody. I'm just going to be me and move with love and light and hope for the best. And, you know, I feel like if I have, like, I've always felt like love conquers everything. Like, love wins over everything, you know? And, yeah, there's, oh my gosh, and there's, like, so much craziness, like, happening in the world right now. And I just, yeah, and that's why I've been, like, sharing all my, like, crazy and my love and my dancing and my singing, and, you know, because it's like I'm overflowing from just, like, happiness and everything. And I'm honestly just overflowing. Like, it's just insane. And I'm just crying all the time. And I'm like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It really is. But anyways, I'm really excited to share with you guys what I've been working on. And yeah, like, it's really nice. But I want you guys to imagine something, because I know when I share my vision of the world, people think I'm crazy, but I want you guys to kind of humor me. And I want you guys to picture something, because this is something that everybody wants, right? Like, every time I talk to people, you know, like, everyone's talking about the system that's crashing right now, that's burning. Things are, you know, all these truths are coming to light. All these things are happening, right? And no matter what anyone has to say about anything, no matter what, no matter what people have to say about whatever it is, the system, the anything, the way people are, the way things are, the way whatever, right? Like, everyone has something to say. But at the end of the day, at the core of it all, everyone wants something better. At the end of it all, everybody wants to be happy, right? Everyone just wants to live at peace. Everyone just wants to live, you know what I mean? And at the core of it all, we should be living the way that God intended. Like, we should be living in love and light and truth and authenticity. We should be living in peace. We should be living, you know, as sovereign beings, as the sovereign beings that we are. And being a sovereign being is basically like self-governing, is to be living from that unconditional love space that's within us. That is God. You know what I mean? Like, God is unconditional love, and he wants us to live that way. So, and I always thought that's how life should be. And I'm sure a lot of you also think that's how life should be, but you're kind of stuck in this, but that's not how it is. Like, that's not reality. But again, our thoughts, our mind create our reality. So I always figured, well, if I'm able to imagine this, there's got to be a way to make it real. There's no way that I'm imagining this like that I have this thought in my mind and it's just, that's all it's going to be. Like, I refuse to believe that. You know what I mean? Like, no, if I thought about it, there's got to be a way to make this real, you know? And that's kind of been driving me my entire life. Like no. So me, no matter what I do, I put my whole heart into it. No matter what, like I do, like you know, like even when I had my clients come to the salon, like I always treated them like gold, like whatever I could do, like they would come. It was just a one-on-one, because I feel like, you know, everyone saw nails as like a luxury, right? Like it's something that you don't really need. But I didn't really see it as like, as the luxury per se, because I feel like for me, doing nails was me sharing my passion, right? Because I just love anything artistic, anything that's art, anything that's, you know what I mean? So when I was doing nails, I was like, oh my God, like I'm doing this little thing and it's so cool and it's exciting. And it was also an opportunity to invite people to take the time to love themselves, to take the time out of their busy day to take care of themselves. You know what I mean? And that was just, I mean, that's just one way. People take care of themselves in different ways, but for like nails is one way that a lot of people took the time for themselves, because, you know, life is so busy. You're busy with this and that and work and kids and all these things, and you're stressed out and whatever. And, you know, some people that came into the salon, they only had like that was the only 2 hours in their entire month that they had to themselves. And it's like so nice to, you know, it's like, oh my God, so they're using this solo time to come here and hang out with me and do nails. Like, I thought that was wonderful. And I thought that was like their sacred time. You know what I mean? Like, this was their time. So when they came in, like it was all about them, right? Like, and so sometimes we would chat, sometimes we'd stay quiet, sometimes we would, you know, but it was really fun. And since we were alone, it was a one-on-one kind of situation. Like, we talked about all kinds of stuff, right? Like, no one else is there. So we're just enjoying that time together. And you know, and I always took the time that I hated rushing and doing whatever, like, especially when I'm in my passion, I need to take the time that I need. And it's funny because I'm such a professional, like I'm such a, you know, like professional, but I mean a perfectionist in everything that I do. It's like I'm a perfectionist at things that I do in whatever kind of thing, but in life, it's like nothing's perfect. That's what's so funny. So it's kind of hilarious how that is actually. But, anyways, I loved that. And yeah, like I had, just saying a little bit more about myself, like I had my salon open for almost 10 years. And before that I had a cleaning business, for about 8 years, and those kind of overlapped a little bit. So overall I've been self-employed for like 14 years. And I lived lots of highs and lows during that as well, which was extremely challenging, especially for when you're self-employed. And those of you who do have a small business, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's really hard because I'm not, you know, you're not one of those big companies that first of all has all the money to do everything, but also you're so small and independent that you can't even get help from the government for anything, right? Like all those government programs, all those other things, like it was like untouchable. I couldn't even to help me for my house or to help with anything. Like, I've applied for so many different government programs and I got refused for everything, even just to get like a loan for school, for like anything, to fix the house, to start the business, like anything. I got refused everywhere, everything. Like anything I tried to do, it was always hard. Like I tried, and I always had to figure it out on my own. No one was there to help me. Not even the system, not even nothing, you know. And even those times that I did start a business and then it was always during times of hardships. Like I could have easily turned the other way and turned into an absolute psychotic, crazy bitch. You know what I mean? But I didn't. I always chose love. You know, like every time that I went through something really, really, really difficult that absolutely destroyed me in every way, shape, or form, I transformed that into something. You know, I opened up a business. I moved provinces. Like so many different things. So, and again, that's like the gift, seeing the gift in the chaos, right? But yeah, so that's been a lot in my life because I have moved around a lot. You know, I grew up in Ontario, lived in Quebec for a couple of years, and I've been in New Brunswick now for 14 years. And yeah, and it's kind of funny how I ended up here too. Like, it's just out of the blue. Like, I'm just buying a house in New Brunswick. Like, I'm moving. And everyone's like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Like, every time I moved or did something, everyone's looking at me like I'm insane. And I'm like, well, what? If I don't like it, I'll just change it. Like, I'll just move back or like, whatever. Who cares, right? Like, especially if it's like not going great and I want something different, I got to do something different. So I took a lot of risks in life. And usually those turned out pretty good. And just like the last one that I took that I know everyone was kind of panicking when I closed the salon. Oh my gosh, when I made that announcement, my phone blew up. And a lot of it was support. A lot of it was panic as well, though. And a lot of, like, I kind of felt like there was some anger in there too. But listen, like I said, you can't please everybody in life and you got to follow your heart. So I knew that God was calling me for something greater. So I had to, wow, and my ear just really rang there. God was calling me for something greater. And so I answered the call, honestly. And yeah, and so I've been working on something. I'm so excited. I feel like but it's not just something I can blurt out, you know, like this is so big that this is why I have to share all these things with you. And because you have to know that the heart behind what drives all this, you know what I mean? And honestly, the engine that's running it is God, and God is unconditional love. So that's just like one of the big foundations behind all of this. And it's funny because when I was a kid, because in healing, you're going to notice like, it's very nostalgic and it brings you back to when you were a kid. And that's something that God always like says. It's like, go back to when you were a kid, just be a kid, have fun. Like, what did you dream about when you were a kid? What did you wish for? What was your greatest like thing? And then, you know how, because we're always asked like, when we're little, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or what do you want to do when you grow up, right? That's always like the big question everyone asks every kid, right? We've all been asked that question. And I remember being asked that question. Just like, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to be? What do you want? And I was like, I want to help people. Like, that was always my thing. I want to help people. And then, of course, like, adults are like, well, yeah, but like, how do you want to do that? And it's like, I don't know. I just want to help people. I'm like, okay, well, like, how? It's like, and then it's like, you know, I went through, it's like, okay, well, you want to help people, okay? Like, do you want to help people, like, medically? Do you want to help people, like, you know, more in a physical, like, you know, and asking all these questions, like, well, I don't know. Like, I guess I could, like, be a doctor or something, help people that way. Okay, well, what kind of doctor? It's like, oh, my God, I don't know. What the hell? Like, what's with all the questions, you know? It's like, well, I don't know. And I always feel like everything was from the heart, and the heart was, like, very important. So I was like, I guess I'll be a heart doctor. You know what I mean? And when I looked into, like, all the school and all the crap for that, I was like, oh, God, forget about that. I'm not doing school for that long. I love learning, and that's something about me I've always loved, is I always loved learning, but I also always hated school. I hated school because I thought it was so like structured in a way that I don't learn that way. I have my own way of learning and I love learning. So it's really weird to say that I hated school, but also the school is built in one way and one way only. And if you don't fit in that box, then, you know, so I hated school, but I always loved learning. So, but anyways, yeah, when I looked into like school and all that for that, I was like, yeah, that's going to take forever. I'm not doing that because I hate school. So forget it. So I just went about my life. And, yeah, like I never did go to like university or anything after high school either, because I didn't really know where I wanted to go. Like I have so many interests. I have so many passions. I have so many things that I love. I have so many things that, you know what I mean? So I didn't really know where to throw myself. And again, because I'm a very go big or go home, all in or nothing, you know, kind of person. So it's like, well, how do you figure out what to throw yourself in when you have so many different things that you want to throw yourself in, right? But anyways, I just kind of followed my heart and kind of just did whatever. But I'm realizing today that, yeah, like that little kid in me is always has just this big heart. And like I said, like I was trying to say, when I've looked at my life and I've looked at all the suffering I've been through and all, like I've went through tremendous suffering and torture and just so much agony. And I know that I've talked to some people that, you know, they're sharing me their stories a little bit. And I like to share my story as well. Like the good, the bad, the ugly, the mess, the chaos, all of it. I like sharing with people because it makes people feel like they're not alone. You know, like, 'cause I remember being in those situations and I felt so alone. I felt so demolished, destroyed, ripped apart. And I felt so alone because, and even when people were physically there, they're emotionally absent. So you're alone. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's why, like, when people share their story with me, or when I, you know, like, I always like to share my story. Like, I know even some clients would come in and some of them were having a bad day. Some of them were in like really big depressions and they couldn't even leave the house, but they came to see me to get their nails done. And I love that because I'm like, you are so courageous. You are so brave, because you know what? In moments where you're so down and you're so ripped apart, you still chose to come here and take care of yourself today. And I think that's beautiful, because it's in those moments where, and I'm getting goosebumps everywhere. Like, it's in those moments where you need to take care of yourself the most. It's in those moments where you are completely ripped apart, you are completely battered down, and you are in the pits of hell. Those are the moments where you need to love yourself the most. And that was always my thing at the salon, was like, it's about taking care of yourself and loving yourself and taking the time. You know what I mean? And so I valued that a lot. I really did. And that's why I was like, I loved on my clients so much. And I always tried to do what I could to, you know, help them out or show them some love, or, you know. But yeah, like in those moments where it's just awful, like you do have to love yourself through it. And that's what I've been doing. But, oh my gosh, I feel like my brain's going a million miles a minute and I'm losing track. But, no, like I've been through a lot, but I've looked at all of those things and it's like, why all the suffering? Why all the, like, why did I go through all this? And like I said, it's like, there has to be a reason for it. There has to be like a purpose for it, because I don't think God would give me this for no reason. And then, like I said in one of my other videos, it's like, going through all that suffering, if I could help just one person, I think it would be worth it. And I would go through it again, you know? And I remember someone looking at me being like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, I've suffered enough. I sure as hell wouldn't go through that again. And I'm like, yeah, but I went through it, right? Like, I made it through to the other side. So obviously I know I can do it. So if I could help one person, or I could help two, or I could help more, I would totally do it again. Why not? Right? I mean, sometimes you have to go first to show people that they can do it too, right? Sometimes you have to be the brave one to kind of just do the crazy thing everyone's scared to do, or say that friggin' thing that everyone's thinking, but no one wants to say, you know? Like, sometimes you just gotta go, you know? But yeah, and so having that in mind, I'm thinking like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm thinking of all these different things I want to do, and it's like, okay, I want to do that, but it's not enough. It's not big enough. It's not, I want to do more than just this one thing. And then it's like, okay, maybe I'll do this. No, it's not big enough. It's not like, I want to help people. Again, it's like, comes back to that little kid inside of me that was like, I want to help people. I want to help everybody. I want to help everybody and everything, you know? Like, again, this brain of mine that's like, go big or go home, you know? Like, I want to help everybody. I want to help, like, and yeah, and it's at the core of it all. Like I was saying, we all want the same things. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. It doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, a kid, an adult, or whatever, an animal. Like, if you're Earth itself, okay? Everybody wants the same thing. Everyone just wants peace. Everyone wants love. Everyone wants to just be themselves at the core, right? That's what everybody wants. And we want that without judgment. We want that without the stress, the nitpicking, the bullshit, the anxiety, the constant nagging of things that you need to do, or society telling you things, or like, no, we don't want, we just really just want to be, right? Like, that's what everybody wants. So I want you guys to imagine that world, okay? Like, I want you to imagine that world of everybody being at peace, you know? Imagine a world that's run really by the people and for the people, where it really is about just people helping people, you know, where we don't have, like, again, going back to being sovereign beings the way that God created us to be. And God created us to be united because we are all one. We are all connected. We are all one. Everything is part of the same thing. So we should be living as such. So imagine that we were living that way, that we were able to help one another, and that we were actually encouraged to do so. You know what I mean? And that we are not, because again, it's like we're living today, like, we got to go, and we got to do. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, imagine if that was actually discouraged. You know what I mean? Imagine that it was actually encouraged for you to take a break. Imagine that it was actually encouraged for you to go and take time with your friend, with your family, with your neighbor. You know what I mean? Imagine that I was encouraged to go into nature for a walk, to slow down, to go camping, to do those things that you love. Imagine that those things were encouraged, you know? Not that you were just allowed to do it, but that it was actually encouraged in your everyday now. That you were able to live in the now. Like, imagine that being encouraged, that you're just living in the now. You're not even worried about stressing about next week or what's happening tomorrow. Like, you're being encouraged to live right now in your highest passion. Imagine that that is your everyday life. How wonderful and peaceful that would be, you know? And to be united. And because right now everything is so fragmented, everything is so disconnected, everything is so separate, right? Like, everything. It's like everybody is like for themselves. You know what I mean? Whether it's like, and I'll just go back to a small example of just me having my nail salon, right? Like, some people would see other nail techs as being competition, and I never saw it that way. I'm like, no, we're all in the same boat. I want to succeed, but I want them to succeed as well, right? Like, because when everyone's succeeding individually, we're succeeding together. You know what I mean? So I feel like as soon as someone else is suffering, like, we're not succeeding as a family, right? Because we're all brothers and sisters. We're all one. We're all connected. And I feel like if someone's left behind, we're not succeeding. Like, everyone needs to be, you know, so imagine that kind of world where no one is left behind. Nobody is left behind. And actually, everyone is actually working together to live in that peace and harmony and love, you know, where it's real life first. Everything else comes after, you know, community over competition. Like, living where you're encouraged to grow as well. And it's even celebrated, you know, where we celebrate the small things, not just weddings and babies and funerals and that kind of stuff, but we celebrate the big moments, where we might call them little moments right now, but like that little moment where, like I said, these aren't even small moments, but when you manage to get out of, let's say, an abusive relationship, that's huge. That's huge. Or, you know, when you finally decided to set a boundary and you held that boundary, that's huge. You know, when you finally did go after that dream you've always wanted to do, but you were so terrified of doing, that's huge. You know what I mean? Those are huge moments. Those are the foundation of who you are and who you're becoming and where you're going. You know, those are huge moments. And I feel like we don't celebrate those things enough, you know? So imagine that being celebrated on the daily. Like, that'd be amazing. And imagine just like, yeah, just being yourself, not being scared of what people think, what people say, I mean, look at online now. You go online and all you see is all these AI videos and things that aren't even real. And everyone's looking at it like, yeah, but you don't know what's real anymore. Like, what's this? What's that? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Is it even real? Is it like, so it's hard to even use your discernment because we're just being bombarded with all these things that aren't real, right? So everyone's struggling to even find out what's real. But imagine a world where everything was just transparent. Everything was truth. Everything was exactly transparency, authenticity, where that was like literally just driving everything. Imagine that, where you can just go online and search for something and you know for sure that what's coming out is truth. Why? Because it's by the people for the people. Because when everybody takes care of themselves and loves themselves to the fullest, they can share that light with everybody else. You know, like let's say somebody, because I'm always like anything that's organic, natural, and just true, I love supporting that. And I've done that in my daily life all the time. I mean, I go get my meat from a local farm, and he's amazing. Like, he's very passionate. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. And I love supporting that. And when you're supporting something that has a lot of heart in it, like, it makes the world of a difference. The food tastes better, everything, because all that energy is being put into that, right? And yeah, like when I buy food, I like to go to local farms first, like to get, you know, it's all local, organic and everything. I love that, you know, and I love supporting that. Like, imagine if we all did that. Like, imagine a world where that is normal, where no matter where you go, you are getting fresh and organic. Imagine that the local, like anything local is a priority. Like, I know here, for example, where I live, like there's a lot of blueberry fields here. But if we go to the store, we can't even buy our own blueberries. We're getting blueberries from like Mexico or something. Like, I don't even know. And it's like, why are we getting blueberries from somewhere else when we have some in our own backyard? But that's like from another company, and that's being shipped to God knows where we can't even touch our blueberries, and everything's being sprayed, and everything's like our forest and everything's getting ruined and whatever. And it's like, why? I always felt that, you know, local, like whoever's local should be benefiting from their own land before they give it anywhere else. Like, the people should be benefiting from their own land before it's shipped anywhere else. For what? For money. Like, money is driving everything nowadays, and that's like, God doesn't work that way. God's engine is love. It's not money, you know? And I think it all comes back to community, right? Like, I mean, if you're supporting your community and you're supporting each other, that should be a priority before you go anywhere else. But imagine that was part of the daily thing. You know what I mean? Like, that it was part of it. And where we did come back to just natural healing, you know what I mean? Like, because even just for me with my healing journey, with my health and everything, I started with fixing my gut. I started with eating really healthy, eating organic, eating, you know, and that changed everything for me. Because for years now, I've been like, I don't have those same diseases that used to cripple me. Like, I went through so many health issues. I was in the hospital all the time. I remember going to the doctors like every week. And now it's been years since I've seen him. Like, he probably misses me. But yeah, like I don't struggle with that anymore. And like, my mind is clear and everything. Like, I'm a lot calmer. You know, things are just so much better. Oh, I'm seeing people pop on. Hey, everybody. But like, my health is better. Everything is better. Like, and my entire life changed since then, you know? And I feel like that's really important, because we're so caught up in this fear and this like lack and this like anxiety of missing out on, we have to plan every second because we're going to miss out on life, and we have so many things to do, and we have like, no, imagine a world where it's not like that. Imagine a world where you just wake up in the morning, like I do every morning now for the past, you know, few months and whatever. It's probably more than a few months. Time's flying by. When you live in the present moment, there's no time. Time is an illusion. It's funny. But anyways, I wake up in the morning and I'm laying in bed and I'm talking to God. That's my first thing in the morning, is I talk to God. And then I just kind of lay in bed. I open the blinds. I let the sun in and I take it easy and I slow down and I'm thinking about things. And then usually lately, well, I'm doing videos first thing in the morning. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny, but it's always in the morning where it's the most comes to me in the morning. So, and that's why I often share in the morning and again, because it's so authentic, right? It's just morning me, like, just, hello. But yeah, imagine where you can actually have those slow mornings every day, and that you do have time to do the things that you love, and you do have time to take, you know, with your kids or with your pets or with your, you know, when I talk to people, it's like, oh, I really want to do this. And I'm like, so do it. And they're like, oh no, I have to go to work. I have to do this. I have to do that. I'm so stressed out. I'm so this, I'm so that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, that's horrible. But imagine a world where that doesn't like exist anymore. Imagine a world where instead of everything being so separate and fragmented and all over the place, that it was all very like just all in one place and structured and organized. That's one thing about me. I am very organized. I am a like organized freak. But imagine your entire world was like that, where everything's in one place. Anything that you need, no matter where you go, everything's connected, right? Because we're all connected, we're all one. And where life was just so much easier. And it's funny because everyone looks at me, right? I've said that in a lot of my videos. Everyone looks at me like, yeah, well, it's so easy for you. No, it's not. I could tell you guys horror stories that nothing of what I ever did was easy. And I never got dealt the easy hand, let me tell you. Because even when I tried to do something, I had like a million things trying to stop me. And I was like, fuck you, I'm doing this anyways. You know what I mean? I was just like, nope, like hell or high water, I'm doing this because I want to, and I love this, and nothing's going to stop me. And I made things happen, you know, whether that was opening my salon, whether that was opening my cleaning business, whether that was moving provinces, whether that was in relationships, friendships, whatever, you know. Anytime I tried to do something, like there were so many things trying to stop me, and I was like, no, like my heart wants this so bad, you know. But again, there was some letting go that needed to be done in that too, because sometimes it's like, I want this really bad, but I had this like way that I wanted to make it happen in, and God was like, no, it's not the right way. Like you got a good vision, but it's not the right way. So there was definitely a lot of learning. There was a lot of learning in my life. And that's why I've been sharing my mess with you guys too, because none of it is easy. And the healing is not easy, because the last battle you will ever battle is in your mind. And that is the hardest battle of them all. It is in your mind. Because we're our own worst enemy. We get in our own way. And it's hard. But what I've been working on is something that would make, and that will make all of this a lot easier. Like people look at me and say like, oh, it's easy for you because blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, it's really not. But guess what? I went through all that hard shit and all that freaking bullshit. And that's the thing, because I was asking God, why all the suffering? Why all this like tremendous pits of hell? All these whatever, why? And I understand why now, because it did serve a purpose. And I had to go through every single thing that I went through, all those pits of hells that I went through, in order to bring me here today and to bring this project to life today, to help all of you guys, to help make your life easier. Because you guys keep looking at me and saying, well, it's easy for you. Like, I can't just do that because of this. Listen, I know it's hard, but I'm creating something that's going to make it a lot easier for you guys to live in the now like I am. Something that's going to make it a lot easier for you to visit family, visit friends, slow down, take the time for yourself, make those meals. Like I make all these cool meals and everyone's looking at all my pictures thinking I eat at the restaurant. No, I don't. My food is way better than what's at the restaurant. Like, and I take the time to do it. I was like, well, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to. Look, what I'm creating is going to give you the time. Like, you're going to have the time. Again, time's an illusion, but what I'm creating and what I've been working on is going to make all that a lot easier for you. But you won't be able to escape the healing. You're going to have to do your healing. No one's going to be able to escape that. So you're going to have to look at yourself in the mirror and deal with that shit. But this is going to allow everyone the time to do that, you know, because it's hard to do when you are getting trampled and beat on and you're in the pits of hell and you have to somehow find the light. And I had to be the light. There was never any light. I had to be it for myself. But yeah, I will be the light for you guys if you guys need it, honestly, because what I've been working on, this project I've been working on, and it's already being put into practice. It's already like, and honestly, the results are very promising. So this will allow everybody to live in unity, live in love, live in truth, live in, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world. This will connect the entire world. This will connect everyone, and no one will be left out. Even all you guys that are miserable and pissed off, like, you guys are going to enjoy this too. Everyone's going to love it. Happy people are going to love it. Poor people are going to, like, poor people, depends how you see it, because it's not about money, okay? So people that have money, no money, whatever, it doesn't matter. This is going to be accessible to everybody. whether, you know, you're homeless, you're alone, you're elderly, you're whatever. It doesn't matter what you're doing, who you are, where you're from. This touches everybody, and it's going to unite everybody. And yeah, like, it's really exciting. And it's really going to encourage people to just live the way God intended. And no one can keep telling me that's not real and that's not the world we live in. Well, I'm going to make it so. So what I've created is going to allow this to be so. Because yeah, everyone's tired of everything, right? Like, you guys, like, I did a video yesterday about, and I've seen everyone's talking about it, how the system is so abusive. Like, I made videos about this. The system is so abusive, and everyone's freaking out, and everyone's scared, and everyone's panicking because all these things are crashing. Let it crash. Let it burn, okay? We don't need it anyways. We already know. We already have what we need within. We already know what we need. And each and every one of us, like I said in my other video as well, like, each and every one of us is so important, and we all hold such a special gift within ourselves. And that's the whole thing, is that we have to be authentically ourselves. We have to be true to ourselves. We have to lead with a heart, with unconditional love. And that's how we make the world a better place. Because, like I said in another one of my videos, you know, right now it's like you have like the CEO, the one that owns the company, and he's the big boss, or she or whatever, and they're doing all this, and everyone underneath, the one that scrubs the toilet and everything else, like, they're just nobody. They're not important. And it's not true. We're part of an ecosystem. We're part of a family, and everything works together. Like, that person up there can't do their job without all the people running the world, the little guys, you know, they're not just little, like, they're running things. You know what I mean? Because that dude up there is still going to need, like, a hairdresser and all those things that we need every day. The cook and the, you know, the cleaning lady, the this, that. Like, they're going to need these people. So everybody, and that's the thing, is some people like to run the thing. Some people like to lead. Good, because we need people to do that. Some people like to just be quiet in their little thing and go clean and do their thing. Good, we need that. You know what I mean? Like, some people like to just be artistic and do their art. Good. We need that too, because we need those things in life. Like, everything that everyone holds within them, we need that in the world. So what I'm working on is going to encourage everybody to do just that, to just live in your passion. And when you do that, you become master of your own trade, right? You become master of what you know. I mean, what you do for a living, what you went into, you are a master of that, right? You know the ins and outs and all the details about what you're doing, right? You're the expert in what you do. You don't need anyone to tell you what to do. You know, you're the best. You know, you're fully educated. You've done all the everything. You know, you're amazing at what you do. So you don't need anyone to tell you. So imagine that what I'm building, this is going to encourage you to do just that, to help people in your way. Like, when I'm saying, this is going to be by the people, for the people. And it's just going to have everybody, all the experts, everybody just helping each other in their best way possible, you know? And I think that's how life should be. So I've created something that's going to allow just that. And it's going to even encourage you to do those things. You are going to have time to go out and do everything. You can live in your passion. You're going to have time to relax. You're going to have time to go with friends. You're going to have time to travel, do whatever. And everything's just going to be so much easier. So much easier. And I know it's hard to, like, think about when we're stuck in a system that's so not that. It's like the complete opposite. But yeah, just imagine, like, everything how shitty it is right now. Just imagine the complete opposite of that. Because we don't need the system. We don't need the government and all these other people and telling us what to do and how to do it and whatever. Like, they don't live in our shoes. Like, they don't have a day-to-day like we do. You know what I mean? I mean, they do certainly hold certain values. You know what I mean? Like, but the way the system was running was so not good, because look at what happened to everybody. Everything's fragmented. Everyone's like just for themselves. Like, no one's thinking of unity anymore. No one's thinking of togetherness. Everyone's just like, nope, I'm doing this, and, you know, fuck everybody else. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, that shouldn't be that way. And if we do that inner work and heal ourselves with that unconditional love, automatically you help people, because you're so overflowing. You are so full of love that it's just automatic. You just help people. You know what I mean? Like, it's just how it is. But I think that's the thing, is that there's a lot of people right now that don't love themselves. And so they're looking to like siphon energy and things from everybody else. And then everyone's getting depleted. And that's just not cool. So yeah, what I've been working on is going to help everybody love themselves first so that we can help each other out globally. And yeah, because I know how hard the healing journey is. I know how hard it is. It is really hard. But I'm going to make it a lot easier for you guys. But like I said, the healing part is going to be up to you though. And again, like, God does not mess with free will. Everyone has free will, no matter what. So you get to decide if you want to live that happy life or not. But there's going to be consequences to your choices, right? I mean, people talk about the fear, fearing God, or the fear of God, right? And it's like, well, what the hell is that? And it's like, well, it's not God that's making bad things happen to your life. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like, oh my God, this just happened. And you're like, what, God, why did you do that to me? And God's like, whoa, I had nothing to do with it. Like, what are you talking about? I gave you a clear path. You decided to go the other way. That was your choice, And that's exactly what it is. Like, God doesn't mess with free will. We always have free will, no matter what. So nothing will be forced upon you, ever. You have a choice to make. Every single day, every single moment, you have a choice to make in life. So it's up to you how you want to live it. Do you want to live it in fear? Or do you want to live it in love? That's going to be a big decision for you guys to make. I don't think it's a really hard choice, but you still have it. Because there's always going to be choice. And that's going to be part of what I'm building as well. Because you will have the choice. You'll have the choice to do whatever you want. But again, there's always consequences to our actions, right? Like even like in the past when I did certain things or I made certain choices or whatever, if I didn't really make the best choice, I freaking suffered for that. Big time. I couldn't blame anybody. We can never blame anybody but ourselves. Anything that's happening in our life, if we're not happy with it, it's our own fault. Doesn't matter what the hell it is. It is your own fault. So yeah, I mean, I made choices in my life and I suffered for them. Because I never followed my intuition. I didn't follow the guidance from God. Like, God was showing me so many things and I was just completely blinded by them. I was just like not paying attention and I was like going the other way. And I could just imagine my spirit team being like, oh my God, there she goes again. Like, what the hell is she doing? But lately with what I've been working on, I'm like, God and my spirit team is like, yay! Like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And yeah, God's been telling me like, it's time, you got to share. And I'm like, how do I share such a big vision? It's so hard to just put into a few words, and to like get you guys to imagine this world that I know it's hard for you guys to imagine, but I know there's still that little kid inside of you that has imagined this. I know you do. We're all connected. We're all one. We all want the same thing at the core. We all do. So I know you've thought about it. I know that you would love this. You would love this kind of world for sure. It's, yeah. And I even brought like, oh my gosh, I wrote so many notes down. I've been writing so much, my arm hurts. Like, my arm hurts so much. It's like I traded doing nails for just like writing, and it's like, oh my gosh, my arm is going to fall off. But, yeah, I don't want to forget anything, but yeah, just imagine like instead of money running everything, it's like, it's not about the time that you put in, it's about the value that you put into life. Imagine that world where it's not, you're breaking your back for 10 hours and you're getting this much pay. No. Like imagine putting like 1 hour of like just so much value in the world or in someone else's life. And that's how you're being rewarded. So you can just put in like 1 hour even. And it's worth like a bajillion hours of like real-time matrix work. Imagine that, Because like I said, those little moments aren't just little. Like even just imagine like, and I've lived this like my whole life. Like I'm just smiling and laughing and whatever, and I'm doing my thing and whatever. And I remember, and I like so many times it happens where I'm just like smiling and I come across somebody And maybe they're having a shitty day. Maybe I don't know what's going on in their life. I don't know. But I'm just smiling at them. And I could tell they're just like so miserable, you know, and I'm just looking at them with a smile. And then they look at me and they can't help but smile. Like they can't help it, you know? And I'm just like, ha. I got them with a smile. But maybe that moment could have changed their life that day. Right? Maybe. Like, I remember even just me having the shittiest day of my life, and then somebody just kind of popping in and either smiling at me or just doing this one little thing. Like, even if it was just something as small as, like, I have, like, my hands full of stuff or whatever, and I'm walking into somewhere and someone, like, opens the door for me. Like, let's say I've struggled that entire day. And you know how it is. You're like, life is going to shit. Everything's fucked. And then all of a sudden you're doing something. And you know how just that one little thing happens and you just lose it? Whereas maybe you're just holding all these groceries or something in your arms and then they just fall on the ground, and that's the thing that breaks you that day. That's the thing that makes you lose your entire shit of your entire life. And it wasn't because it was the groceries, but it's just that drop in the glass that just made it overflow with shit, right? But imagine that in that moment when you had the worst freaking day ever and you're holding all those groceries and they're about to fall everywhere and you have someone coming just out of nowhere, opening the door for you and grabbing one of those bags and they help you in. That's huge. That's not just a little moment. I got goosebumps. That's not just a little moment. That's like one of God's angels working, you know, helping you out in that very moment. So imagine those things. Like, we took the time to do those things. Imagine that was encouraged. And that's because you're adding value into the world. You're not just like at work, like just go, 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 go. You know what I mean? And doing what, really, you know? So yeah, just imagine putting more value into the world with your heart, putting more heart into the world, right? Like, that's what God wants. It's all about love. So imagine just, how can you put more love into the world? Like, imagine a world that was encouraged to do that. And where you freely, just, because we're sovereign beings, we're abundant, we're limitless, you know? Like, there is no limit to God. There is no limit to anything. Like this, there is not. The limit does not exist, you know? So imagine that when it comes to abundance, right? I mean, if you had all the money in the world, and again, like, money is like, I hate when people talk about money. But imagine you had all the money in the world, okay? And nothing was to stop you today. What would you do with it? Again, leading with love. Because if you don't lead with love, you're not going to get the right things. But imagine giving that freely. Because again, you're so abundant. So imagine when someone, you know, those little things, like the person who did open that door for you or whatever, and you're, you know, it's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, you're acknowledging, like, wow, you just changed my life today. Like, you have no idea what that little small gesture did in my day. You know what I mean? Like I love doing stuff like that. Like, when I meet people and they're like so passionate and they're so, like, I always make a point of it to talk to them and be like, listen, what you're doing is awesome. Like, you're authentically you. You're putting that love out into the world. Like, I love that for you. And I love that for everyone. Like, just keep on doing what you're doing. I love doing that because we don't encourage people enough. Like, everyone's more like bashing the shit that they hate rather than promoting what they love. And I like doing the opposite. I like to promote the things that I love. I like to compliment people. I like to share the love. You know what I mean? Sharing is caring. Like, I love it. Anytime that I would love something, like, let's say I went to a restaurant, I tried like a new recipe or like whatever, I would share that. Like, I would share it all the time. Like, oh my God, I just tried this thing. You guys got to try it out. So I'll share it on social, or I'd share it with my clients, or like whatever, you know what I mean? Because like, I'm so excited about something and I love something so much that like, I want someone else to benefit from it. I want someone else to feel that excitement with me. Because if I'm sitting here all excited and happy, like, yeah, sure, it's cool, but it's always way better when it's shared with other people. Like, whether that's good food, whether that's an experience, a moment, like whatever. It's always better when it's shared, you know? And that's what it's all about, right? Like, we should be united as one, the way God intended, in love and everything, you know what I mean? So imagine that was just like flowing so easily. Like, imagine it was like all the money in the world. You had all the money in the world and you just give it to everybody. Anytime that, like, oh my God, you're so awesome. Here's some money. Oh my God, you were so cool. Thank you so much for that. Here's like a huge tip. Here's like, imagine that's just how it was. Like, how cool, you know? Cause like, now I feel like a lot of people hold on to that money because they're so scared of not having some tomorrow. And like, it's energy. Like, it has to flow. The more you hang on to stuff, the more like you're just living in that lack and in that fear and in that control. And it's when you lose that control that everything just becomes better, you know? And that's one of the things, like, you need to, like, when you surrender and everything, it's like you're allowing yourself to break. You're allowing God to change certain things within you. You're allowing God to speak through you. And it's like, and that's going to require you to break. That's why I said in one of my other videos, don't be afraid of the break, because you need to break. Things need to break. Things need to crash. Things need to burn in order for new to emerge, and even for a new you to emerge. So allow the crash to happen. It's probably going to be ugly. It's probably not going to fucking look good at all. And it's might not feel good either. And it might be scary and all those things, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. You got to do it anyways. And God is always there with us, so there's nothing to worry about. But yeah, so imagine in those moments, like I've said in all my other videos too, is that when you are in your highest passion in that moment, like you're automatically raising your frequency, right? And as you're raising your frequency, you're putting out that ripple effect into the world. Like this is happening. So automatically you're going to be attracting those things into your life. Like whatever matches your energy, that's what you're bringing in. So again, if you're like on a low vibration, low frequency, pits of hell crap, you're going to keep encouraging that to come into your life, right? So, and again, because God doesn't know no. Like God will give you whatever. So whatever your energy is inside of you, you're going to get more of. As soon as you change yourself within, you change your frequency, everything around you changes. And you're sending a better signal out there. So God knows what you want, you know? So as soon as you're sending out a better signal, you're going to see that things around you are going to get so much better. It's the laws of the frequencies, the attraction. I don't know. It's law. Like it's when the frequency starts changing inside, everything has to match, you know? So yeah. And don't be afraid to let go of things that no longer serve you, because nothing's going to come into your life if the old stuff isn't coming out. You know, it's like my room when I was like, hey, I want some new nice clothes, but my drawers are so full of crap that there is no room for new clothes. You know what I mean? So you got to empty that out. And I emptied a lot. I emptied like 2 truckloads of stuff for people. And I just gave it all away. I was like, here, someone else can benefit from this because I don't need it anymore. And for me, it was like so liberating because I was like, ooh, look at that. I have all this space now, you know? So like I got rid of a lot of stuff and it feels good because you're getting rid of old things. You're clearing all that old stuff out, right? And don't think of just that like physically, but in your mind as well, because you need to let go of the old patterns, the old wiring and all those things in order to rewire your brain and put in those new thoughts. Like we've been brainwashed in the worst way possible, that we need to basically re-brainwash ourselves in the best way possible. And it's a muscle. We have to work our muscles, right? Practice makes perfect. So just keep at it. But yeah, so don't be afraid to let go of things that don't serve you anymore, because you don't need it. Not where you're going. You don't need it. And you don't have to fear. And you don't have to worry. God says, live in the present moment. You don't have to worry about tomorrow. Today has enough issues on its own. So you know what I mean? And imagine too, that perfect world where you're not renting anything. You're not paying anybody for your house. You're not paying for your land. Like, what is this paying for land anyways? Like, who owns Mother Earth? Like, that's so created. God owns Earth, okay? Like, are you kidding me? Like, no. Imagine where everybody gets to own their own home and their own things and their own ideas and their own, like, you know what I mean? And imagine that this would be encouraged. Imagine that this was celebrated. You know what I mean? Like, how amazing that would be, right? So imagine that world. And when all of that's happening, everything, you end up being like, once you let go of all that stuff and you really are just living your true authentic self in the present moment, you're not worried about anything, you're living abundantly, you're showing people that love, you're putting value into the world, like you're not thinking about money and all that kind of stuff. Everything is like, because I keep talking about like divine timing on things, and it's so, yes, because once you start noticing the synchronicities and all the signs from God and your spirit team and everything, and it's guiding you all the time. So you start noticing like that you're always at the right place at the right time. Always. You don't have to worry about anything. You're literally like, how many times have I like met up with friends, or they came over, or they ended up calling me just because I was thinking of them. They called me. Or, you know, I posted something and it's like, hey, I was just thinking about that yesterday. It's like, huh, yeah. You know, like you're just always, everything is divine timing. You don't have to control anything. Like everything is happening exactly how it should and when it should, always. Because when you surrender to God and you let God do his thing, you don't have anything to worry about. Honestly, you really don't. And it's kind of funny because we see like the surrendering and the as like such, and it was hard for me too. Okay. Like I said in another one of my videos, because of the abuse, because of the trauma, because of all these things, I wanted to control so many things in my life because I was scared to go through it again. But again, fear was running the engine. So as soon as I let that go, and even though that's really scary to be sitting there in the unknown, it was the most peaceful thing I've ever done in my entire life. I remember even going to therapy and I was telling my therapist about that and she looked at me like I was insane. Because I was like, because she's like, but you're still in a place of uncertainty. And I said, yeah, but the fact that I'm so calm and so trusting, it's beautiful. Like that's the most beautiful thing ever. Honestly, really. So yeah, like imagine that world. And what I'm working on, what I'm developing is going to help you guys do exactly all of these things, you know? And because as soon as you're rushing or you're trying to plan or whatever, you're trying to control something, you know? And like I said in my other video, like if you want to try to put a visual to it, because like I said, the kingdom of God is within. We're all connected. But let's imagine God is like out there just watching us, you know, with our true authentic self, their best buds, and they're watching us go. They're from above, so they can see everything. They know every single outcome. They know every single fork in the road. They know everywhere that it leads. They know all of that, okay? They can see the grand picture. And we're in our avatar on earth, and all we see is right in front of us. That's it. We don't see what's on the other side of the mountain. So we can have like an idea or perception of what we think could be the best option based on what we see right in front of us. Or, you know, we do have things in our past that taught us certain things that maybe we have a pretty good idea. But trust me when I tell you, God is up here and he's seeing all the paths and he knows the best possible outcome for you. So even when I'm sitting here and I'm all excited, I'm like, oh my God, I'm really excited. This is really cool. Like we're doing something. And God keeps telling me like, yeah, it's even better than you think. You know, and it's like, really, I have a pretty good imagination. So I don't know how much better it can get. But yeah, like God has a better plan. We just have to kind of surrender to that. So that's key for sure. And when you do surrender, like honestly, your mind becomes so much calmer. Like I always had this brain that went a million miles a minute and never shut up. And then I couldn't sleep and I couldn't like, you know what I mean? Oh my God, ever since that, I sleep like a baby. Like, and everything is much slower and calmer. And I'm just like, it's like, oh, I feel like it, I go. I don't feel like it, I don't go. Like you know what I mean? Like, and that's how life should be. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And really just, yeah, I feel like one of the big things is the living in the lack and the fear of like losing something. Because we're abundant. We're abundant and it's not about money because money is not a thing. God didn't create money, you know, like, so it's not about that. It's just being abundant in spirit and abundant with our love and our care, you know, like God loves so much that he's literally, and I keep saying he, but there's no he or she. It's just God is God. But God just loves so much that, you know, he wanted to experience everything in life, in the universe, in everything. Like, he just wanted to experience life in every way, shape, or form, you know? Like, and no matter what, it's just like, it's just everything comes down to just love. It really does. But, yeah, like, I really want you guys to envision that life in unity, you know? And whereas when you start moving, you know, just living in your highest passion and, you know, because you can think of whether that's family or relationships or whatever, you know, people go on like dating apps and all these kinds of things. And I always thought that was such a weird concept. It's so weird because I always feel like if you're going to meet someone, it's just going to happen when it's going to happen, right? And oftentimes it happens when you least expect it or when you stop looking that you find it. So imagine just every day just living in your highest passion and just like life so not complicated and you just end up being where you need to be and you end up meeting the people that you need to meet. You end up meeting your soul tribe. You end up meeting the people that you were meant to like live life with. You know what I mean? Whether, like I said, whether that's like friends or family or whatever. Like, I've called so many friends family. Like, again, it's just, you find your people. You know what I mean? When you find your people, you just know, right? Like, I've met people for the first time where I'm like, wow, I feel like I've known you forever. I'm like, you're my people. I love you. Like, and I just met them. But like, when you find your people, So imagine that was just like a daily thing, But what I've been working on is going to allow all of this to be true for everybody. So this is really, really big. This is really big. And yeah, I just really want you guys to sit with that and to imagine that. Because I know when I would speak my vision, people look at me like I'm crazy. And it's like, you know what? I can actually put it on paper now. I can actually, like, no, this is real. This is not just an idea that's out there. Like, this is real, So I want you guys to envision that. Because it's happening. It's totally happening. It's something it's about supporting life and not to shrink it. It's like we're encouraged to basically not live and to like freaking just live in misery. And no, we're supposed to live, like actually live and live in unity and live with people, because life is always better lived with people, but happy people, so this is going to help people be happy and to help them actually live, because that's what everybody wants, right? Like, everybody wants that. So yeah, what do you guys think? Show me some love. I don't know who's on here, but hello. Show me some love. If you want to live life in love, show me some love in the comments. I don't know. But I mean, this is it's my vision, but I know it's everybody's vision. Like, I know it is. So yeah, just coming back to a simple life. Hello, Nadine. Thank you for the love. Yeah, just imagine coming back to unity, coming back to the simple life, the simplicity, human connection, like just freedom, time, quality of life, just the quality of everything that you do. It's not just about producing, it's about the quality you put out there in the world. Like, imagine if that was just, and everything just being, the engine that runs it would just be the love of God. Like, come on. It's the best way to live. So yeah, I just think this is really cool. I was so excited for this. And I know, like, I don't know, people get so freaked out about stuff and it just makes me laugh. Well, again, I laugh at everything. I did a video about that the other day. I laugh at everything. It's like the more chaotic things are, the more I laugh. But really, everything's under control. Everything's fine. But anyways, this is something that I'm developing. This is something I've been working on. Like I said, this is basically like my life's work. And I'm testing it out as well. And it's going very, very good. So I'm really excited to get this further along in the development of it all. But yeah, like even just like this phone, like this phone that I have right here. Oh my gosh. Everything that I've been doing, these videos and whatever. And it's funny because I've had, like, I'm always open to constructive criticism, right? So it's like, oh, your video quality is not that great, or because then I know, like, when I post on YouTube, it should be like turned the other way, and then Facebook this way and whatever, and all these different things. And I'm like, cool, yeah, that makes complete sense to me. And I'm trying to do what I can with what I have. But right now, because I broke my other phone, my new phone, don't have phone, fucked myself over there. No one else's fault but my own. But so I'm using 2 old cell phones that don't work properly. I have a busted up laptop that does not, like, it's literally like 20 years old. So yeah, and here I am creating this, this system on a broken system. But hey, a story of my life, right? Shitty foundation and coming up with something amazing. But yes, I'm creating this, this system here that's really going to encourage, it's basically going to shift the entire way that everybody lives. So I'm really excited. You guys should get excited. Like, that's the thing. I was really excited to share with you guys because it's a time where things are so scary and things are so uncertain and things are burning and everything else. But it's like, no, you guys need to get excited. Like, there's such a shift happening in the world right now and goodness is emerging. And yeah, like I said, when I'm decided on something, I make a decision with conviction and I do not stop. I go for gold. So trust me when I tell you that this project is amazing and yeah, I'm really excited. Like, it's going to change the entire system in the best way possible. Everyone's going to have a choice and everyone's going to be able to just live with love and light. And I think it's just going to be the most beautiful thing ever. So yeah, get excited, get into your like highest passion, get into like, we need to raise the frequency of the world. And the only way we can do that is by loving ourselves and being in those moments of passion. Like, and it's funny because I was talking about like health in one of my other videos and how like I used to have, you know, asthma and this swallowing thing and all these other diseases and stuff. Hi, Elda! I used to have all these health issues. And then it's like, I got rid of all that. And then, but I had this Raynaud pop up, which is like, it affects your extremities, like the hands and the feet. But that's getting better as well. And I'm noticing like, oh my God, in moments where I'm in like high passion and everything, like my hands and feet are on fire. Like when I'm in moments of like high passion and I'm excited and I'm like, oh my gosh, my hands and feet are on fire. So I'm like, all right, I'm doing good. Like this is really good. But yeah, honestly, what I'm building, this is going to bring connection, simplicity, and freedom to everybody on earth. So get excited. Get excited and really think about that true, authentic self of you. You know, like that highest version of yourself. Just picture that person as like a queen or a king. You know what I mean? And it's like, how would this person move today? Like, how would Queen Christelle move today? And then just move that way. Your true, authentic self with all the love in the world. Step into that. But yeah, I'm really excited. I don't know if I'm missing anything. I feel like I could talk about this forever because like I said, it's just more living, less scrolling. Like we wake up in the morning, we grab our phones and we're like zombies. We're like, oh my God, like that's awful. You know, like, so imagine that you did go, like, let's say you did grab your phone. Okay. But it wasn't to scroll. It was more to like, all of a sudden you're being connected with, hey, you like doing this. So why don't you go, it's nice out today. You can go to the market. You can go do this. Hey, your friend's over here. Why don't you go meet up with them and do that? Hey, you know what? You've been adding a lot of value today and sharing a lot on socials and everything. Like maybe you should take a break and stop working and, you know, go take a break, like relax, chill out. You know what I mean? Like, because like I said in another one of my videos, we abuse ourselves every time we just like make ourselves sick to go to work. You know what I mean? So imagine a system where it would actually encourage you to take time off and to relax and to actually take care of yourself. Imagine when you are rewarded for that, even. Not even encouraged, rewarded for that. So imagine just being rewarded for being a good person. Like, wouldn't that be the greatest way to live? Like, yeah. It's amazing. And it's real. Like, it's awesome. But yeah, like I'm... It's really exciting and I just want you guys to get excited. And yeah, like, I don't know, I'm looking through my papers because, oh my God, trying to get this on paper is a thing because if like, this would be like 100 pages. I'm not even kidding because I've mapped out every single detail of everything. Like, yeah. So yeah, just everything just rooted in love, growth, and human connection. Like I love this. It's just so nice. And I feel like this touches everything. It doesn't matter what you do in life, where you are. This would help everybody no matter what. This would help everybody. Whether personally, whether professionally, whether like anything. It would connect everybody under one big, like just one big ecosystem, one big family. Because that's what we are. We just forgot about it because we were programmed to think differently, but it's not true. But yeah, it's basically, yeah, just rewarding what you love instead of bashing what you hate. Like, we're trying to put positivity into the world, so that's what it's going to be. Oh, I love this. I think I kind of touched on all of that. But yeah. So imagine that, because life is really meant to be lived, shared, and celebrated. Big, small, all of it. I don't care. It should be celebrated. Everything. When I think of my entire life, every single aspect of it, and certain things that happen, and I was like, why don't we talk about this? Why don't we share this? Why don't we celebrate that? Why don't we, why are we living in this fear of like, what are people going to think? What if, like, you know what I mean? When we share our mess, when we share our trauma, when we share our garbage, it makes people feel not alone. Like, I've shared so many things just in the past few months with people. And again, people are scared to interact with my stuff. And I used to do that too. I'd go on Facebook or whatever, and I'm looking at stuff, but I never would like or share or comment anything. I was always just kind of like, just looking, And it's like, no, why am I doing that? In real life, I'm constantly complimenting people. I share things, but like, why don't I do it online, right? Like, everything is a tool. Your mind creates your reality. So if you say you want to use it as a tool, use it as a tool for love. You know what I mean? If someone wants to use it to spread hate, they will. I mean, that's the way they see life. But if you want to use it as a tool and you want to use it positively, use it positively. So lately I've been like liking and commenting and like all kinds of stuff all the time, because I'm like, yeah, why not? But privately, I've had so many people reach out to me and telling me how much I've inspired them, or how many, like, I've motivated them to do certain things, or that like a certain thing that I said in my video has, like, it really resonated with them and really helped them like heal something that day or move forward somewhere where they were stuck. And I think that's wonderful. But I would love to see that on a grander scale. I would love to see that, like, from everybody, whether that's personally, professionally. Like, how many companies are putting stuff out in the world and you don't even know where it's coming from? What's the heart that's driving it? What's, like, you know what I mean? Even me going to certain companies, I'm trying to find out what's in the product. Where does it come from? What's the, like, mission behind the company? And like, some of them do have it out there. There are companies out there that are like that, but some other companies, and big companies, you don't know what's in their stuff. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know the heart behind what drives it, because some of them don't even have a heart behind it at all. It's just money, right? So imagine a world where everything was transparent and we did see all that stuff. And I mean, we support, and I always said that, I mean, everything that we do in life, where you spend your dollar is what you're voting for. So if you don't like that thing and it's toxic and you don't like it, just stop buying it. Like, you can say no. No is a full and complete sentence. You know what I mean? And you vote with your dollar, just like you're going to be voting with the value that you put into the world. That's a vote. That's a vote towards what you want. You know what I mean? So everything that you do, everything that you say, anywhere you put your energy, it's the same thing. You need to see that as like a currency. The currency of love, the currency of just, being. So, yeah, so just imagine a system that is really built to make life a lot simpler, a lot easier, and that would connect and unite every single person on the planet. And I'm talking about everybody. Nobody is left out. Nobody is left out. I don't care who you are not left out. I don't care if you're happy, you're miserable, you're traumatized, you're in recovery, you're homeless, you're alone, you're anything. This unites everybody. And that's how it should be. And it doesn't matter what you did in life. Like, you need to let God in, because God will forgive anybody or anything. But you have to stop doing those things, and you have to, just choose a different life. Talk to God and figure it out, but you're allowed. So anyways, I want you guys to sit with that vision and imagine that system where it just, life is so much easier and simpler, and where you can do these things that you love, because that's what I'm building. So I'm really excited. So anyways, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like I could just talk forever, but yeah, this is what I'm building. So get excited. If you want to love, comment, share this out, spread the love. I think with everything going on, people need to know that there is something better being built, something better that needs to be shared. So if you want to share this video with people, like I said, even just liking or commenting does put it out there. And like I said, I just really want to share the love, and that's what this is all about. It's about sharing the love. And I want to share the love with everybody, as many people as I can. Like, I just want to share the love. Like, I am overflowing so much with love, and I want to share that. So please help me share the love, okay? So anyways, I hope you guys have the best day ever. I love you guys so much. And honestly, today, I want to encourage you to do something for yourself. Even if it's just 5 minutes or 15 minutes, 1 hour, I don't know. Merci Nadine for the love. Do something for yourself today. Like, anything. I would like to encourage anybody and everybody today, right now, because now is the only time that exists. Right now, I want you to do something for yourself. Okay? Spread the love. I love you guys. So have a super awesome day and keep an eye out. I'm still going to keep sharing things and sharing, you know what I mean? Like I've been sharing passions that I have. I've been sharing just moments of funny or moments of whatever, you know what I mean? Like, when it speaks to me, I just do. So, and I like to share. So anyways, keep an eye out. I'm going to have some updates on things. I'm going to share some more things. So yeah. Anyways, I love you guys so, so, so much. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Okay. Bye.